So, welcome to I Have a Testimony Global Podcast, and we have here the creator and executive producer, Ms. Charzetta Hall, and then we have with us Mr. Daniel Holmes, and then we have Mrs. Nat Lopez.
Peterson Lopes.
I'm like looking at her, make sure I get that right. So I'm gonna pass it along to Miss Charzetta, and I'm Miss Kenitha, you know, the homeless CEO. So I'm gonna pass it along to Miss Charzetta.
Thank you very much. My name is Charzetta Hall. I am the creator, executive producer of I Have a Testimony. And one thing I like to do before I begin to talk or go to someone else, I like to do shout outs. I like to say to those that's in the hospital, the nursing home, the foster care center, also for the runaways, missing children, missing people, and the homeless people. Let us keep them in prayer, especially at a time like this. We need to make sure that somehow we can do something to help them. So I'm glad to be a part of this podcast today because I'm a part of what's going on. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Daniel.
And I want to shout out to the mentally ill Donald Trump today. But, that was just my first thought. So, she can do hers. I'm Daniel Holmes, and I'm part of the Morning Coffee Artists, and along with my other fellow people who are sitting around me. And we also are part of the Voice of Resilience National Homeless Choir.
That's true.
And we have a lot of things that we've done over the years period. And we have discussed a lot of different things that we can do to improve it. So, I don't know. Anything that you all like to ask me about or?
We're gonna get into that,
Nate first.
We're gonna get into it, Mr. Daniel.
Well, hi, my name is Nat. I am a former Belmont student, just graduated and been working with, thank you. I have been working with and alongside the good old Nashville Voices of Resilience Homeless Choir since its inception, thank you.
Yes.
And it's been an absolute joy and pleasure to be part of such an impactful group.
Yay! We're so happy to have you too, Nat. Like, we don't know what we would do without Nat, for real. Her and Miles, we don't know what we would do without them. And shout out to Miles. That's the shout out I want to give. And all the other choir members and artists throughout the Morning Coffee Artists and conglomerate throughout. So, yeah.
And there are some that are not here today.
Yes.
So we want to acknowledge them
It's
as
just
well.
a small glimpse.
Yes.
Of the group.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, very glad to have everybody, and we wanted to do an end of the year kind of rundown where we're going and what we think kind of about what's going on currently through the federal administration and just kind of what's going on around us. So our thoughts on that and how to tie it up with what we're doing, where we're going, what we've been doing, and what we look forward to in 2026. So that's the conversation today. And I know I had kind of tasked Ms. Charzetta. We really pivot on the fly. I have a testimony because we were going to go live, but we figured it out how to pivot. And that's a huge thing about this group of people is how to be resilient, and we're going to figure it out. If we don't know or one doesn't know, we know how to lean on each other, and we have been learning so much. So I don't know if you want to kind of guide the conversation, Ms. Charzetta, or...
Okay, well, we all can just combine into it. The end of the year is really here for 2025. We're going into 2026.
Crazy stuff.
Yes, and crazy things.
I
think one of the things that are going on that concerns elderly people like me is our Social Security or disability or Medicare, Medicaid. 1 minute they're going to cut it off, then the next minute they don't. So it's like a scare tactic. I mean, we have worked all our life. I can say for me, I worked 36 years for the Department of Human Services. I earned and put in for my pension as well as my Social Security.
Mhm.
I mean, you put your life into it, you know, because it determines your working skill. And my working skill, I did for, like I said, 36 years, just to be told that I could lose my pension, I could lose my Medicare, or Social Security. So that's what I'm leaning on today. We can talk about that and how you feel about it.
So I want to say, and I know if anybody else wants to chime in too, but to your point right there, I'm a voucher holder as well. And so there is something on each of those benefits is called a benefits cliff. And if you go $1 over, they say you're overly qualified and this and that, and it puts people in and to the point of what we're doing and speaking about homelessness, that's where you see people push into homelessness, losing homes, losing whatever because of $1 over, or like how are we supposed to?
It's weird that system is set up to keep people in poverty.
It is. It's circular, and like, how do you get out of that? And you dedicated yourself to the job, and that's the first thing you kind of hear when people have benefits, or if you hear people being on SNAP or something like that. It's like, well, they should get up and work. They did work, and
for years.
still, I know for a fact, the elderly, when they go to apply for food stamps, they'll tell them $20, and it's like that's not even barely a pick five.
And I've seen people, it would go down to $5 to $2.
Yeah.
And like I said, I worked, but yet I cannot get any other benefits
Yeah.
because I'm either $5 over,
Yeah.
which causes that the benefits that I may try to apply for, I'm not able to get.
You're not eligible. Yep. So, any thoughts, Mr. Daniel? I know you got thoughts on this. We done talked about it before, so I know you.
Well, actually, I'm Druid, so it's like, my sense, they call this the year of the dragon, which is year 9, and then it goes and get back to year 1 in Chinese symbolisms,
Wow.
and this is the new beginnings, what they call,
You better
of
hush
year of the
then.
horse. So being new beginnings,
Where are you going?
I'm grabbing something because he said that. Keep talking, Mr. Daniel.
so yeah,
sorry.
new beginnings,
Oh,
and
wow.
the thing is that I have people that I've talked to on the phone that said, oh, this won't affect me, it won't affect me. But if people do not get their benefits and don't get their incomes and don't get their allotments, then it affects everybody all the way around, because even if you're not affected right away, you have to realize that there's a trickling down effect that causes people not to realize that, you know, everyone has to pay into the system, and if you don't, then someone has to suffer to make that work. So there's where you have to figure out who does and who doesn't get what they get. But a lot of times, you know, it's just a paperwork snafu or whatever it is, and that's what causes the most holdup in all of us. And so I think that there needs to be an easier way to do things
Yes.
in order to keep it less complicated. Keep it simple, every time.
Mr. Daniel just
So-
gave a word. He has no idea. That's why I flew off the camera, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a scribe. That's something people might not know a lot about me, but I am in training for intercessory prayer over at our church, Claiborne Family Faith Worship Center. One of our songs is dedicated to the church restoring faith. I'm getting it right. And so, speaking of faith and what Mr. Daniel said, he said, this is the year of the new. And my daughter just gave me this. This is tied back to so much. But she just gave me this butterfly. It says, live your faith. You are a new creation in Christ. And then it has that scripture, 2 Corinthians 5:17. And then she gave me this Joshua 1:9. Be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone. And both of them have a cross on the inside of it. I think we were talking about crosses earlier in some magnitude.
Okay.
And one of my birthmarks on my face is a cross too, y'all.
Yes.
I don't know if people know that, but I have a cross on my face.
Okay.
Until I kind of point it out, people don't know. I just walk around like cloaked.
They don't know you was born with it.
So these crosses and what Mr. Daniel said and what Miss Charzetta said, that comes full circle into like a walk of faith and what we're doing, exactly what they talked about. So kind of to tie that back around, how myself and Mr. Daniel met, me and Miss Charzetta, she's been calling me a rebel for years.
Yes,
For
so-
about, talking about homelessness, and we will get into all kind of subjects. If you go back in the archives of I Have a Testimony, you will find deep education of some things that like you wouldn't even think about. Because what do? We did a segment on the Peach Bowl. What
Yes,
was
we
the
did.
Devil's Punch Bowl?
Bowl out of Georgia. We
Girl,
did.
it's such a story. Oh my God, it's juicy. So that I say all that to say, with what we're doing, we will have a production too that kind of goes into some of those things. We're gonna get into that in a minute, but I want to talk about how Mr. Daniel and I came about. And so the COC here, which is called the Continuum of Care, is the Homeless Planning Council. And so I was the chair for the Consumer Advisory Board, and I'm still that chair right now. But I ended up becoming the chair of the Homeless Planning Council as well. And that was the first historical ever person with lived experience to chair this Homeless Planning Council. And I think about the same time is when I came to the contributor and we all met. And the first thing Mr. Daniel did was show me one of his postcards, and he was like, "Look at this, we need to be selling this art." That's how he said it. And so that came about. I started to watch how Morning Coffee Artist was born, and he went to go get the things to make it, legitimate and pour into the business, and it just kept on growing by people. And then he ran into Nat, and I remember I was supposed to be at that first recording, but I could not get there.
Oh, yeah. The first recording of Daniel's
my
first
God.
hit.
And it's amazing.
Hit,
Yeah,
yes,
Our
like
Lives Are as an Unwritten Song.
that
It's on
song.
Spotify. Stream it.
Please go like, subscribe,
Like and
and
subscribe.
Yes.
And it actually went national with the National Health Care National Health Care for the Homeless Council. I have to look at my acronyms in the air and read them out right. But it was the first song to kick off that annual memorial, and then later that week we did it in person at the riverfront. And what I heard back from people after they heard us perform the song live, people were like, I was in tears. That was just a moment to hear that song at that moment in time. So I remember the dream, Mr. Daniel, and we are living it now. We did end up getting from Morning Coffee Artists to Nashville Voices of Resilience Homeless Choir. We are Metro Arts Thrive Grant recipients for Voices Unheard, Art for Change, and that has been an amazing journey. We started off kicking off with the Magruder Center. I think we kind of did some stuff before that, did we not?
There was a lot of
Yeah, there was a lot of
rehearsals.
rehearsals.
There were a lot of
Rehearsals.
rehearsals at the good old Claiborne Family Faith and
And we
Worship
did a
Center.
lot of
Yeah.
other things.
And then we hit Magruder.
Uh-huh.
It was amazing.
Yes.
We're a massive hit, of course. Yeah.
That, and we ended up actually getting more invites from that one performance there, and the same from anywhere that we've been invited, and people are full on
And then
wanting
you
to.
got to perform at the corner.
Oh, yeah, to
And
get on
another
board.
person who was from the Grooves was for
Yes.
Black Mental Health Village.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you ended up being number 4 on the list.
I
And,
almost
yeah,
got
you were
the
almost-
place.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
was
wondering,
nervous
I was
about
like-
that.
Yes, I
Yeah.
heard about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was Mike's and Mimosas for Black Mental Health Village, and that event, I think, is still, it's still going down in history, I feel like.
And we
But-
made a lot of good connections as a result.
Oh my gosh, so many people to connect with, and just, for me, I love seeing the healing and holistic world come together, especially through art and healing, and that is the change. And something I did want to mention, Mr. Daniel might chuckle at this, but as the lived experience cohort in Consumer Advisory Board, right, since last February, also historically, we have yet to be paid for our lived experience. We're supposed to get $20 per hour. And for it to go down in Black History Month, that was my first, and I'm going to tie it into the fact that I'm going to be playing Harriet. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm just going to tie
In
that
our
back
upcoming
to...
works.
Yeah, so for the historical purposes of, and think about like Black history and all that stuff. But I wanted to talk to Mr. Daniel and Nat and Charzetta about the upcoming productions and what do y'all think about what 2026 would look like? That's a huge question. Oh, I got Natalie. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think specifically for the choir, one of my goals for us is getting us on track for learning music and reading music
That would be awesome.
and
Now, who
music
would you say?
theory. Me
All
and my
of
lovely
us.
girlfriend, a longtime girlfriend, LB. We
LB,
lots of
I brought some.
who's off stage, but we have experience with working in choirs and learning music in the past, so that would bring that to the choir.
And I may say that at the, when we sang downtown at the Presbyterian, that LB sang beautifully along with,
Yes. That was
Mm-hmm.
like a discovery
and,
day.
we were very discovered that she actually had a voice.
This
And
was,
she did a great
I
job.
don't know, you
She
guys.
did a great job.
I just like watching you guys, and I just was filled with
She
Christmas.
just
I was
jumped
just
on in.
filled with Christmas spirit, and I was like, I want to join
Come
in.
on.
There you
So I
go.
did, and I don't know, it just reminded me.
Speaking of joining,
I don't know.
we need more members. Great segue.
Look how easy it is to join.
It's so
Hey,
I just,
yeah.
and I really like this whole thing. I have a little bit of experience as a music therapist,
Wow.
not professionally. I was in school for it for a while, and just so I love working with people and like seeing them discover what it means to just like go from sometimes just even go from sitting and listening and enjoying music, which is also a great experience, but when you're the one making it, it's like a creating
Yes.
and it's so
The power of
meaningful.
creating.
Yes.
Preach, LB, I'll scream.
Well, that's exactly what we need. I mean,
Yes.
you can tell who sings soprano, who sings alto, so we
Yeah.
can all come in together with it. So that's
Because
great.
untrained, without that, we have heard angelics in the church, so I could imagine what it sounds like trained. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think with all this music definitely brings about a sense of community, and it's a tool for bringing people together, which is our ultimate goal.
Healing. That's totally healing.
It's healing.
I
So-
believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it creates a frequency and a vibe. That's also music.
And when you're
Resonating with
singing,
souls.
yes, you're singing, you get all those feelings, those emotions
Yes.
come. You get into it and you begin to feel what you're singing.
Yeah, and to your point, that's exactly what they said at the annual memorial, where we got to do beginning and we got to do the end on like honoring the lives of people that were lost in homelessness throughout 2025, and so the one person said she was brought to tears, and while the song was being sung, people were throwing the flowers in the river in remembrance. So she said that just made the whole ceremony. So just to hear that, and that was the feeling amongst all the people, and to be able to honor our own friends, because still, even though we do what we do, we still we're that person that our peers know to come to. So when we know of loss, those are still our friends, even if we lost them being unhoused. So, and they're the reason we continue to fight and rise up.
But you know, this being Music City like it is and being 5 years homeless, you know, you would think that there'd be a more outcry for people like us to be in the city. And the thing of it is, it's amazing that it is 5 years again, being homeless. And there's, you know, a lot of people who have skill sets that don't want to utilize them or don't hang around long enough to do it because they want to move all the time. And unfortunately for us, you know, it's not about always being a member of being homelessness, but it's a member of being community, and the community is what we've set out to start out with. And I'm part of Daybreak Arts as well, and of course, they had just recently been invited up to a TV show up north, and you know, it was Kelly Clarkson, and of course, what they did was they actually had.
Wait a minute.
They actually had a sit down, you know, and celebration
Was
and
it
everything to it.
a watch party?
It was a watch party.
Yep.
And so what they did was they had, you know, it was back on 12th of December, or November, but they actually had people, you know, gathered around them that had come from different areas, you know, of their time sets of working with Daybreak. And, you know, we may be individualized, and I may have been pushed to go on my own direction, but we still have our ties into our community, and we always go back to where we came from. And that's why we always have to remember that we don't forget our background or where we come from, because there's where we have to be who we are, because most people, when they start getting out there, they start forgetting about who they were to begin with. And so that's one of the things I've said to my artists and so forth, that we will never lose who we are, no matter where we come from, because I do the family part. It's not a membership group of people and so forth. It's family. So, you know, we share our experiences and we do different things, but we also share the joys and the hardships of what people go through. So, you know, it's been a challenge for me because, you know, I mean, I'm split between two companies, and I've even had people say to me, I'm surprised you continue to keep pushing with the art part. And I'm like, they said, your music is growing. I said, but you have to remember, art is where it started. And so we combined the two now with the programs that we are in an opportunity to grow into next year, being actually going to churches and actually having shows with art. So, you know, we're not going to leave out where our first experience was. But, you know, it's amazing because you meet so many different people along the way. And just walking up on somebody like we did the contributor, meeting somebody who sang. And we invited them into the group. I have two people I met at Dark Matter. They're artists, and they just walked over to me and started talking about it. And I wanted to be part of it now. So we are still growing, but you know, I don't know. I mean, a lot of challenges ahead of us because of the fact that we have a lot of people who are still fighting against the system and working to try to negate, you know, their responsibilities of what the financial side of homelessness is. And we've got to remember that we are the people that are the sounding board. We have to play our part in all of this in order to make things work out. Because if we don't, you know, we're the ambassadors. If we don't, we'll never get anybody to do what we need them to do. So people have to listen to us, and they have to realize that we will not give you bad advice. We will give you what we have by experience. And so, you know.
And I know that, and I think I'm so glad that you had the idea to form this choir in the first place, to communicate this message to the public, because music is a universal language. It is what can connect people from different viewpoints, different backgrounds, and bring us all together. And I think to have the like Nashville Homeless Choir, that like putting that on the map and we help bring attention to these issues
I agree.
through the power of music.
I think that for a lot of people who, there's just people who have exposure to the world of poverty or being homeless and things like that, and there are people who have not been exposed to that at all. And so if you haven't been exposed to that at all, it kind of creates, I mean, obviously this huge divide, but also this like sense of alienation as well that can be really, really hard to bridge. And then people are like, well, I don't really know, I don't understand, I haven't taken the time to understand, or I just haven't been around it. And so it's a foreign thing to me, and so that equals it's scary. I'm nervous and to interact with the community. And I feel like this is such a good way to be like, hey,
this is the bridge.
Yes, we all love music, and we all can come together on that. And it just, I like it. It's just, I feel like it's gonna break down walls, and it's gonna make people want to connect. I love it. I love it.
I believe you. I love that.
That is
Break down
perfect.
walls, and I understand exactly what you were saying. There are so many people that don't really know what it is to be homeless or experience it. But the good thing about us, we're dedicated. We come together. All of us are from different backgrounds.
We're all people.
And
We
one of
all
our
people.
members is Muslim, and she will not sing Christian songs because it goes against her faith system. But we respect that, and it's like, you know, so we navigate around it, as you say. But the thing is that what she did tell me, which stood out in my mind, was she looked at me during one of the services and she says, I'll tell you what I like about this. She says, you're bringing all religions together. And I said, you know, so she said, that's kind of interesting that you're bringing everybody. She said, it doesn't matter what your religion side is. She says, you still have a voice, you can make it, you can sing. And I was like, that's cool, you know, from a person who has been pretty much shunned out by people, you know, not understanding what's going on. And, you know, as her faith is, you know, is slightly different than other people's. And, you know, it's always been judged by other people. And for her to say that was amazing for her to even come to it.
That's
So,
everything.
yeah, so.
And then you have to think about her too in this instance, because she said this to me. She said, we're family. And family is what matters. So she looked at us like family.
We all do.
So.
Each and every last one of us. And I want to say to Daniel's point, we just got word back from Baha'i Faith Center. And so that is a really huge conglomerate of, like he said, a different religion. And they will be figuring out how to collaborate with us. Yes, collaborate with us with their choir. So, oh my God, 2026. Look forward to what's coming with that. I cannot even imagine. First thing I thought was acoustics and harmony, and like my mind.
Big old echoey building.
But the funny thing was when I first called them up, and this is back in the beginning of our beginnings. And I called them up and they said, you understand that we're only 7 deep, seven member choir. I said, do you understand that you're bigger than we are?
And now we made 14.
I said, you're bigger than we are.
So it
was funny, and the woman had to stop and think about it for a moment. I said, you got more members on yours than we got on ours.
But we've grown since.
So we have grown.
Also, I would like to take the time kind of in this conversation to plug in all of the people that are here in Music City that would like to collaborate. We are open to collaborations as well.
Literally, please talk to us. Please.
And we are looking to have a benefit concert coming up, so we will be fundraising towards getting our, securing the Shimmerhorn. And to be able to work with them symphonically, I'm going to say I made that word up.
I like it.
Symphonically, you know. So we want to do a benefit concert and
that'll be coming up in June.
Yeah, to start our
So
own
we have to
benevolence
get
fund.
ready soon.
Keep an eye out.
And
Work
get
on your
our
calendars.
funds up.
Yes.
Yes.
So. And we're about to get an event coordinator, which will work with us in order to help us
Right.
navigate through all that.
Yes.
So,
All the people are like in the background. They've been kind of waiting for this, I feel like. And I do want to give a shout out back to the COC because I feel like the entire COC wants to see us paid and in our rightful position. So thank you so much to the ones that are moving that forward. I do want to establish that. And the ones that have had our back.
That's
And
right.
this is what it looks like when we're able to do the work, what we're talking about right now. So just pour into us as we slowly end homelessness. We know it's not an overnight thing.
Right.
But this is like, I believe LBN that said, this is how you break down walls. And actually, that's powerful.
That's
Maybe
very
then you might
Yeah,
get
because I
inspired
was-
with a song.
yeah, because I was 19.
Yeah, send me the lyrics you're gonna write later.
Yeah.
This is how
Of
you
course.
break down walls.
19, I was 19 years old. Of course, I had my first experience of homelessness. I actually lived in a house. I had cars, all that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't have to do it, but I met two people on the street, and Mike and Tammy, and of course, they ended up having their families, did not like the choice that they made for being together. And she was pregnant at the time, which no one really knew at that. But later on they did, they figured it out. And they were going to, you know, separate, and I said no. So I left my home. I ended up buying a car for him. And he lived in the car. And then we went from there, his uncle opened up the doorway for an apartment. And we got the apartment after he left. And he stayed there, we stayed there for about another 4 months. And so they were gonna they were actually gonna get separated and they were gonna abort the child, and I said no. So they did not do that. They ended up, I talked to Michael, common sense to him, and you know, now they are both postal workers for the United States government, and they have the child and everything went well.
That's beautiful.
So, you know, it's like, I mean, homelessness gives you an experience that's separate from anything else that you can
That
ever
says
learn
so
in this world.
much.
That's
Yeah.
Because it brings you into the actual lives of people,
Wow.
and you have
The
more time.
stories.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So,
I really appreciate being told all these stories too and being involved in this community. I know that a lot of these stories I've heard. Also, keep an eye out for finishing up the short documentary
How
on
did we
our
not talk
choir.
about
Yeah,
that?
I
Oh my God.
it is.
to be
There is
released.
a video that exists with all the footage, but I want to make it a little bit better because I did it for a final project right before graduating at Belmont. But every time I talk, that will hopefully be posted on the same YouTube channel as the music video that I directed and edited for good old Daniel for Our Lives as an Unwritten Song. I believe the project was called Facing Our Unseen Struggles. We abbreviated that to Focus 2025. So the Facing Our Unseen Struggles YouTube channel. It'll hopefully be posted there.
Yeah.
So keep an
That
eye out.
YouTube is gonna show pop and
It's
doesn't
gonna
know it.
And
Like, that's
possibly
the
we will
place.
be, we will be taping 3 more songs once we get to learn them. I've already turned that over to Belmont.
All right.
3 to 4 songs.
Shout out to Belmont.
Yes.
We'll give a shout out.
Love you
since
guys.
we-
Yes, Belmont.
I miss
Yes.
you already.
Yes. So I think
We're getting all the
yes.
stuff done. We're doing the things.
Good
That's
thing.
it. We are struggling. I'm not going to say struggling, but we're hanging in here.
Struggling to
doing it
stride.
Yeah, struggling to stride. That's what it is.
Yes, ma'am. That's from Nashville.
And we're
somebody's
dedicated. That's the
song.
most important thing.
But the
Through
most-
storm, we hang
But the
in.
most interesting thing is that the majority of this was done without money.
Yes.
It was all
Oh,
done
wow,
because we wanted to be
That's
together.
right.
Yeah.
You know, money is not what drives people, it's
No.
what inspires people.
Yeah.
Right.
Money is
And
only a tool.
So it's
It's
a
only
tool.
a tool. That's
Yeah.
right.
Community inspires people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was inspired. I don't know. I keep thinking about like when you were talking about stories,
Mhm.
just like the stories of the people in the community and how it's just like what you think you know, and it just gets like turned on its head. And like
Mhm.
I am in school for architecture and interior design at TSU, and there is one of the artists at Daybreak, Amatula,
Okay.
Yes.
and she
Good old Anne
was,
Hassan.
she was an eye-opening. Her story was eye-opening for me because she is also an architect.
Mhm.
Now,
One
Would
of the
you
first
ever
black
think-
architects.
would you ever
This
think?
I did not know.
Yes.
It was an architecture.
Now that is what stopped me in my tracks. Because would you ever think that there would be an architect
Right.
who built homes and makes homes for people
Experience.
that experience
Experiencing
homelessness?
Wow,
And
that's
just
amazing.
it's because of,
Point.
and she told me the reason, and it's just
Amazing.
A lot of things happen outside of people's control.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another one of
And I
our
said, no one
friends
Be anyone.
at Daybreak Arts, Sydney Sparkle,
Oh.
love Sydney Sparkle. I believe they told me, I might get this wrong, and I apologize if but I remember, I think that a check did not come in the mail at the right time, and it was they lost the mail or stolen, and that's why they couldn't pay their rent.
I
And
thought that was on Matula.
Yep. That's
That
right.
was Amatula.
that was
Yeah,
on
That was
top?
on Matula. Yes,
Same.
My
that's
bad.
all it was.
That's A.M. Hassan. My bad.
Yep.
But also shout out to Sydney Sparkle. Love
Yeah.
her.
Oh my goodness.
Love
I just
that
told
name.
Finn.
Don't worry, this part's
And
going to
smallest
the
A.M.
architect.
Hassan.
I am so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Mhm.
Real
Matula's
name,
great
artist
too.
name.
A.M. Hassan.
Yes.
She's an architect. She's very.
Well, the interesting thing is that we learned that we shared one other commonality, was that when we went to downtown Presbyterian,
Oh
I
yeah.
finally found out that LB had a real love affair for architecture
Oh yeah.
and history.
Yeah.
And we all started talking, and she
That was a whole
just
lesson.
gave us a lesson that we never stopped learning.
I do have
And
the rules.
we were amazed at
To
her
ever hear.
background of understanding of the church.
Yes.
So it was like,
And we want to sing there too, by the way, downtown Presbyterian. Shout out to y'all.
Yes.
We're
Yes,
working
thank
on
you
that
for
now.
the beautiful venue.
It was beautiful.
Fantastic.
And
Yeah.
encouraging and loving, so yes.
Yeah.
and the acoustics is excellent.
Yeah. That's all we
Behind
that.
us and
Yeah.
the building.
So,
But
Yeah.
yeah. I think what do y'all any last final words? from
Closing
everybody?
statements. Yeah.
Closing statement.
Yeah.
I think that we need to say that Morning Coffee Artist, 1776 at gmail.com, and that we're also using, different types of information and stuff to try to get our name out there. So keep informed with us and keep watching what we're doing. So we need to grow our financial sponsors. We need to grow our community awareness. So I think that's the most important thing.
Grow our choir.
And make sure
Yes.
that when you go to YouTube and you see Our Lives as an Unwritten Song, please, I'm trying to get up to 10,000 people.
Yes.
That's what
10,000
matters.
views?
And
Subscribers.
subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, we just had a guy his name is Sison. He's an actual podcaster. And he was on yesterday and they showed that he got an award, which is
Wow.
called the Silver YouTube Award.
Oh,
For
like a
just
play
getting,
button?
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
play button.
Get us our
you
play
have
button,
a-
y'all.
So we need a play button.
Yeah, on
That's
Focus
what we're shooting
2025 page.
All right.
Yes.
And he got his, I believe he's got 100,000 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
we touching agree on
That's
that.
what we're working on. We're working on growing our group. And keep listening to our music. We're moving up.
Yes, we are.
Moving on up.
Yeah. Just a free sample.
I heard what he said, and I'm sorry, y'all. I love theme
I'll have to
songs.
cut her off at that point because we have to start charging.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have the royalties for that.
No.
They're like, chill out, listen.
And you.
Yes. Closing statements. As LB mentioned earlier, we're all just people. You know what? You see somebody on the street, give them the time of day. Come on.
Yes.
Give them that extra $10 that's in your pocket. What I've learned from all those experiences with you guys is that the generosity of people who have nothing is greater than those who have everything.
Wow.
And it shows in this unity and the way that we interact with one another. And I tried to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Look, I clocked that. Clocked it.
I tell you, that was
Clocked
beautiful.
it. Clocked it. I'm
And-
sorry.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I'm Morning Coffee Artist. Can also be seen at Morning Coffee Artist
Oh, yeah.
at myshopify.com.
So on my Shopify, I have a question. Can you find the virtual art gallery there?
You cannot link to it yet, but there
That's
is a
just a
connection
yet.
for the
That will be
virtual art
there.
gallery as well.
Okay.
And as soon as we have that, we will give it to you, and I will put it online with Morning Coffee Artist.
So can
But-
you tell a tiny bit about that, and then me and Charzetta
We
do our-
have a gentleman who's been working with us, and his name's Mike, but he's really,
Shout out to Mike.
really
Lacey.
amazing.
Michael Lacey.
Mike Lacey. And he's been working with us, and he's amazing when it comes to computers. And he actually took and made it from scratch and coded everything, and now it's a form of a building where you walk in, and you literally can walk through the art gallery, and you hit these.
It's a VR situation.
Mhm.
VR, yeah.
Yes.
And you can actually, you can actually walk around and do circles and look at the walls, touch the paintings. You get a description of the information, along with detail of what the artwork piece looks like. And it leads you back to my Shopify. So
purchase,
again,
yeah.
to purchase it. And again, everything you see there, you can get also at my website. And supposedly there'll be a video, he took it down for a moment, but he'll be putting it back up, the actual original song that we did of Our Lives as an Unwritten Song.
Yes.
So that plays all the time in the room, the guest room as you walk in, that's the first room.
Nice.
Then every room after that is labeled by individual artist. And so all you have to
That's
do is touch
awesome.
that, go to the room, and then they'll put you immediately in there, and then you just spin around and see what's available.
That's amazing.
So it's a very easy.
Kind of like when you think
breakdown.
about the kids having Roblox, that's
Yeah,
what
like,
it puts
yeah.
me in the mind of you can navigate around.
And I've always
up
said
and
that
down.
art is never looked at from the floor.
I know.
And when you're looking at your phone, you're looking at the floor. So it's like, to me, I like to literally be able to be eyesight of whatever I'm looking at.
Eye level.
Eye level, yeah. And it's like, it's just amazing, because when you go into the Frisk Art Museum, you're not going to be looking at the floor. So you're standing and walking and looking at it from your perspective. And that's why I wanted to do this actual
Wow.
setup of the VR gallery
That's
in order to
awesome.
make it happen. And we're like the only one out there that has this system.
Yes.
So we're creating that, and then eventually
Originals.
I will have a
Yes.
game system that will be attached to the back end of it
Amazing.
that you can go out and play.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, I love it.
I love
We
it.
got all the cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
Miss Charzetta's mind was blown with this
I'm
last
telling
time.
you, my mind is blown because
Wow.
I'm learning and seeing different things and hearing things I hadn't heard before. And
Wow.
if I have, I just can't remember. But it's just amazing. This is I Have a Testimony.
Yes.
I am the host and the creator of it, but it's for people to give testimony. So you're going to see us again, over and over again.
And
You will be here.
We will
Yes.
continue
And the
this.
interesting thing
That's
was
right.
that we had happened was Bandy is one of the actual artists at Daybreak. And she says, I got a trumpet. She said, would you like to have it? I said, yeah.
Wow.
So we had a show that we did for the actual FY25, the grant that we got,
Natural arts.
and the Metro Arts. And of course, a shout out to Metro Arts.
Yes.
And of course, we ended up,
Many shows.
she showed up at the entrance, and they wouldn't allow her in with the trumpet, and then they finally did. And so she came up to me and she says, you don't realize the difficulty I've had to go through in order to get this in here to you. She said, I want to drop it off to you. I said, okay. So she went out and she got it, she brought it back in. I don't know what she had to do in order to get through the door, but I'm sure she used her influence. And so,
Charm, yeah.
yeah, we didn't talk, yeah. So she ended up coming upstairs and she handed it to me, and a gentleman walked over, and out of the clear blue, and he says, oh, is that a trumpet? And I said, yes, actually it is. And so the funny thing was is that he picked it out of the box, and he said, "May I?" And he just started playing in the middle of the parking lot,
Yeah.
out of clear blue sky. The started
Right
playing
up
band.
under Athena now.
And the thing was, the funny thing was, I told him, I said, "I'll make a deal with you. You join our group, and then you get the trumpet."
All right.
So that's one. I'm still waiting to see back on that one, but
That's amazing.
He's
But
got
we-
a trumpet waiting in
That's
his message.
amazing.
Yes, sir.
This is awesome. We are coming to the end of the show.
Yes.
I have to piggyback off what Nate was saying about make that person's day. Give them a smile. Shake their hands, you know. Do something for them. Sometimes when I see them out there with that newspaper, I'll give them something.
Yes.
I do not overlook homeless people at all. This is a passion that's been in me for years. It's not something that just started. I was with a program for 3 years where we fed the homeless people. We would go up under the bridge and feed them. That's what it's all about, because you never know the circumstances why they're homeless in the first place. So never judge them. Just ask God to continue to help you a better person.
Yes, ma'am.
But I was glad when
Because-
you said that, because it meant something
Yeah.
to at least show some kindness. I remember one time there was a young guy, he had the newspaper. I was trying to give him $1, but I realized I had given him $10.
Oh.
I didn't take it back.
Mm-hmm.
I blessed him with it. It was a blessing
Yes,
that
ma'am.
God had blessed me to do, even though it was my last 10. Then I go home, I got a check in the mail for $300.
Wow.
That's nobody
That's how it
but
works.
The
God.
butterfly.
That's the butterfly. That's exactly what it is. And what we're going to do
Wow.
now is I'm going to turn it over to Kanithia. She is one of the hosts of I Have a
Yes,
Testimony.
ma'am.
And she can go for, and then I think Daniel has something else he wants to say.
yeah.
Okay, I just was gonna say in my synopsis, this has been so fulfilling and so phenomenal. Thank you guys for coming
Thank you for
and
having
talking with
us.
us.
Yes.
And I heard this choir is DEI, and it is healing, and it is just something that's going forth to bring
It's for the
awareness, of what's, we're a real poverty simulation. Let's say that.
Oh, I've done one of those.
Yeah, so we're bringing it in a way that is digestible, I think, and towards building solutions. So,
So the last thing I just want to
Yeah.
say real quick. Once again, hi, I'm Nat Peterson Hopes, and what is it? Hatred is taught,
That's
and so
right.
is kindness.
Yes. Yes.
So choose kindness.
Choose kindness. You said it again. Choose kindness,
choice.
people.
Yep.
Please
Like,
do.
you know, it's like I lived in different places being homeless. And of course, you know, we just heard from Travis Edit. And, you know, there's a reason for what we do, and we don't give it out because we want to get
That's
self-gratification.
right. It's just
But
to
one of
get
the things
something.
that I've learned was in Texas, I was told to come back to Nashville. My future was still unresolved. And I went to New Mexico and I ended up coming back here. And as a result, I thought I had $4 in my account, and I didn't. It was actually 20,000. And so I ended up
That's a big
staying for a
difference.
motel. Yeah,
Look
a
at
friend of
God.
mine who was a millionaire ended up mailing me up money.
Whoa.
And so he
That's
ended up.
not tiny,
So I lived
Daniel.
there for a
I
year.
said like that was $20.
That was a lot.
So I ended up saying to myself, I said, look, I said, you know, what would I do with this money and where am I going to do with it? So I met a friend of mine who was on the steps of the Ryman Theater who played the guitar, and he sang and he was sick as a dog. And I told him, I said, look, why don't we go get a room for the night? And we did, and I met two other friends of mine. And I ended up staying there for a whole year. And so he had to go back, and I lost him as a result of him leaving me. So it was like, you know, he ended up living in the woods and passed away. But, you know, again, we ended up, I go to Pennsylvania, and I learned that a person who was walking on the road looked at me, and I needed a MP3 player, and I ended up talking to him, and he ended up telling me, he says, why are you talking to me? I said, because God told me to. He looked at me, he says, no, you don't understand. He says, I haven't talked to anyone in 2 years. I said, so why tell me your story? And my entrance to people who are homeless always tell me a story, because people want to talk. They want to be heard. And so that's one of the things that you should greet people with
That's right.
tell me your story.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be about your story, it should be about their story.
Yeah.
And so you understand who they are and where they're coming from, because if you don't, then you'll know how to approach people.
And you do.
And
you
so,
do.
yeah.
You really do. And they,
And so he ended up telling me that he lost his wife and children in fire and didn't talk for 2 years.
Wow.
So he said, if you end up needing a place, you can go down here to the big college that I'm building. I'm the foreman, and you always have a roof over your
You
head.
better hush.
So yeah, so I
Like
ended up.
randomly, I'm the
Yeah.
foreman.
So it's like, you know, so it's like you don't know who you're going to meet on the streets
You don't know.
and what people are, and it's like you don't know the circumstances. So you know, don't judge, at least you be judged, but they have.
That's right.
You
No
know,
judgment.
there is a lot of people out here who just need a few things. And it's not money,
that
it's
much.
appreciation.
It's appreciation, and that's the good thing about I have a testimony. Over the last 3, 5, 6 years,
Yeah, it's been greater than
people
5
come
years.
on that show. We don't judge them.
Yeah.
We listen to what they have to say.
Everybody.
They
The
can
whole
be
purpose,
spiritual, professional,
Yep.
or whatever the situation is, but we listen. And we
Miss
don't
Charles even
judge.
said if it's an atheist, we don't
We're going to listen to what that
listen.
atheist has to say.
Uh-huh.
We're going to give them that respect.
Yes.
Sometimes people just want you to listen to them.
Yep. That's
And that's
always
the
been.
reason we started I Have a Testimony, for people to come and give their testimony.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the mission of the choir, to
Mm.
directly quote Daniel in a little section of the music video. I did put some, like each of the artists speaking at one point during, like in the middle of the music video, and to directly quote Daniel's part, this is for the purpose of representing homeless people, and that has always been the most important goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, representing.
I see, as a little girl, my mother used to feed the homeless people.
Wow.
She would cook up a lot of beans, but they appreciated it.
Yes.
Sometimes they would stop by the house and she'd give them a bowl of beans, you know. And she instilled that in me as a little girl.
Wow.
Watch out for
Powerful.
other people. We're here as an example for other people. And I've lived by that, and that's helped me in this life that I'm living.
Yeah.
Not
That's
go around
everything.
judging, but help if you can help.
Yep. Yep. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want to say too, I have a testimony tip. We have not gone nowhere. We've had to do a lot of self-care this
Yes,
year,
we
and
did.
I'm so glad that we know how to do that and step back when we need to.
Mm-hmm.
But we will start to have guests next year. We needed to do our end of the year and talk
Yes.
to our people and our family today. And it has been so enriching and just a beautiful time with you all. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you so much for listening and watching.
And thank
Yes.
you, and we hopefully,
Yeah.
things will be
Look
a
out.
lot more better by the end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on trying to
Going up in the
still
world.
moving up,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like things are moving progressively forward in all areas of the world.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
hopefully we've got some good news that we'll be
That's
giving
right. That's
during the
right.
midterms.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're looking
Yes.
forward to that.
And if you see this video, if you would like to become a person to be in the choir, just let us know.
Please.
You can send me, my email is I have a testimony, 15@gmail.com.
I believe the choir does have a Facebook page, correct?
Yes,
Reach
Nashville
out.
Voices of Resilience.
Homeless choir.
Yep.
Reach out to us there. And
Everyone is
everybody, tell your mom, tell
Yes.
your dad, tell your
Yeah.
second cousin.
Spread the
sing and
word.
hang out.
Please
Yeah.
spread the word, and when we have our fundraiser, come out, support us.
Yes. See y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.